It's a theme song, sound quality, but I'm gonna keep the same song, so here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Just how she plays them, and she does that. She does it with the cat. Does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. Hopefully that fixed the audio. Crazy Cat does not own any of these pictures or books or pictures. I use them under fair use for educational purposes, so the people who watch them learn a little bit something when they do it. Hopefully that fixed the audio. Alex only did all those years ago. No, I don't want to do this.
Good evening, Samuel. I hope you're feeling good about tonight.
Honestly, yeah.
How's everybody doing today?
I think Dr. Drane's starting to accept himself. That's what this is all about, ain't it?
Yep, we gotta do Mr. Hyde guy.
Indeed, Samuel. There will always be room for self-improvement, of course. None of us are perfect, and none of us are irredeemable.
I reckon so. Whoever shows up tonight, I'll give him that same benefit of the doubt.
You are a wonder, my dear. What distortions do you think you'll focus on tonight?
I think these are the ones that are likely to come up.
They all do, one way or another. We are wildly irrational beings, my friend. But I will leave you to Dr. Drane.
All right, I think I'm ready. Here it comes. Hello, darling. Miss me?
Oh no, he's back.
Oh, boy. Look, are we going to have a civilized meeting this time, or are you going to break them fangs out? I'm going to do exactly what I want to do. And you know what? You're going to love it, American. So lay your cares and your underpants at the door, because Lord Luridus is here to take you away. I guess Dr. Drane's back on the stuff again. Why don't you ask the little worm yourself? Oh, Doctor, your master summons you. Hello, Sam. God, what's going on here? Why is Lord Luridus calling himself your master? Because that's what he is. You've helped me accept that, curse you. Whoa there, compadre. How did I help you accept Lord Luridus as your master? That weren't ever a thing I encouraged. You were correct. I was approaching my issue unscientifically. I thought I could restrain him forever, but I was suppressing my vampiric needs. I had to accept the scientific truth. I am not nature's master. Nature is the master of all. To fight that reality is folly. I realized that I was suppressing a great part of myself. I did as you instructed, you know. I drank blood. Real blood. And it was incredible. I had forgotten how it was not just the taste that made one feel satisfied. It's the feeling of life that it infuses in the body. I felt strong, confident, above the petty worries and squabbles that come with mortality. I felt like a vampire, like the base creature that I truly am. What choice had I but to welcome the truth? I am a slave to my nature. So you see, I am his master. I always have been, and I always will be. Just as I told you, therapist. The same dark master lies within you. You know this, don't you? I can see him behind your eyes. Oh yes, you cannot hide him from me. You cannot hide the blood, the screaming, the power you felt when you stripped the life and dignity from those pathetic mortals. I know your thoughts, my leather-bound friend. I know what you crave. Lie back, and I will give it to you.
No, thank you.
I got bad news for you, Luridus. You think you know what I'm thinking? You know your own mind, but that's all you really know. It's a cognitive distortion to project a reality that ain't there. Oh, fuck off with your mortal psychobabble. You can hide your thoughts, but you cannot hide your fangs, vampire. I don't need to hide, Lourdes. I have dark thoughts all the time. I got needs I can't help having. But they ain't my enemy. They're just a part of being me. The Lord Lourdes inside me, I treat him with compassion. And you disgust me. I have half a mind to rip your heart out.
Those
You
eyes.
better hope you got a faster trigger finger than I do. You poor, pathetic creature. You cannot even accept my gifts, can you? You wear the American flag as your chastity cage. You know, I think I'll pick up one of those at the sex shop on the way home. I wouldn't want the dear doctor using my beloved equipment. You really think you can dominate him completely? Well, that's a control fallacy, amigo. Dr. Drain tried to shut you out and couldn't. You can't shut him out either. I don't need to shut him out any longer, naive fool. He has accepted that I am his true nature, and that I will always know what is best for him. I don't need to shut him. How do you know that Doc's accepted you as his true nature, huh? You read his mind or something? His mind is mine. It always was. The little worm hid from me for centuries, but I was always there in the dark corners of his mind. Every depraved thought he ever hid away was me all along. I do not read his mind. I am his mind. Look, put Dr. Drain back on. I want to get his take on all this. But of course, talk to him all you like. He's a good boy now and knows what's best for him. Doc, what's going on here? This ain't you. You're maybe the most motivated fella I ever met. Lord Lourdes ain't who you are. Don't you see, Sam? He is who I am. When I drank that real blood again, I knew it. I felt him. Every time I indulge, he'll take over. It's just, I wish that Lord Lourdes were not a natural outcome of my vampiric needs. It isn't fair. I have worked so hard to overcome our curse. Don't I deserve a better nature? Doc, I think you're an incredible fella. You're doing things with science that might change the world. Do you deserve better? Yeah, I think you do. But the idea that fair rewards and punishments are going to come to those who deserve them, well, you know that ain't true. You're always going to be disappointed if you're thinking that way. The universe ain't going to banish Lord Lourdes, much as you'd like it to. I am well aware, and I am embarrassed to even wish such a thing in my dead heart. It is such a self-pitying thought, but no one cares for my self-pity, least of all Lord Lourdes. I care, Doc. I just want to help you get to a place where you're feeling more empowered than to wait for fate to give out some rewards. Don't worry, Sam. Shame of being so unscientific is enough to keep me more honest. There's no need to dwell on this topic. Dang, that fellow looks pretty down. What can I do? Tell me if you've heard this one. A vampire walks into a blood bank. I've heard this one. I ain't even started. They ask the teller if they've got any O positive, and they say, I'm positive that I don't want to hear this. You don't even know the punchline. I assume there's some sort of confusion about the word positive, where one refers to a blood type and the other assumes a favorable position. Oh, heck, never mind, man. Partner, I gotta pass on a little cowboy wisdom here, and that is, a horse is a horse, of course, of course. Good God, I think my brain just succumbed to age and rotted out of my head. If that is cowboy wisdom, I shudder to imagine what cowboy ignorance is. I'm serious. Tell me, Doc, what is a horse? Equus ferus cabalus, an ungulate of the family Equidae. Herbivorous perissodactyls, they... No, I didn't say classify a horse. I asked what is a horse. What do you mean, what is a horse? I'm asking just that. Don't describe it, just tell me, what's a horse? What the hell are you saying? A horse is a horse! Of course. I'm sorry, when is the sunrise today? I think I should like to meet it. And what are you, Dr. Drain? I'm a vampire. And a vampire is a vampire. Of course. So what would you tell a friend who's feeling bad about being a vampire? I would tell them that it is ridiculous to feel bad about what they are. Well, let's soften that up a little. I would tell them there is no reason to feel bad about what they are. So why don't you tell yourself that? all right there, partner? Just give me a moment. Dr. Drain, there is no reason to feel bad about what you are. Yee-haw! Now that's what I'm talking about. Please tell me you did not just yee-haw during my breakthrough. I'm proud of you, Buckaroo. Oh, yes. Dr. Drain should be very proud of who he is. You forget, my little gun fetishist friend. I am Dr. Drain. I am the truest part of him. And you have no idea what depravities I've been up to, what uncharted places I have explored with my tongue alone. And it's all Dr. Drain's fault. He made me feral. You're hiding behind that feral labeling. You're using it as an excuse for the things you do, which is just how Dr. Drain uses you. I ain't sure there's even a big difference between you two. Oh, fuck off. I'm not Dr. Drain. Dr. Drain is me. You know why he loves it when I take over? Because it feels good. He knows that, because he feels that delicious blood euphoria. It is because that is what he is meant to feel. No, you unfuckable wretch. Dr. Drain should not be proud of me. I'm sick. I'm twisted. I am a filthy motherfucker. Or I would be, if she weren't long dead. Actually, I wonder where old Mama's buried. I'm sick. I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to get Dr. Drain to feel bad by using them labels. How's he ever going to come to terms with you if you're making yourself so gross to deal with? Oh, perhaps you're not as stupid as you look. That's exactly why I call myself those incredibly accurate names. That's why he fears me. That's why he will always be my slave. He cannot bear to be associated with me, and yet here I am. You know, he thinks his mother died of old age. But you know what I think? I think she died of shame. Because she knew I was her real son all along. You know, he thinks his mother... Come the hell on, you have no idea what Mama Drain was thinking. Maybe she loved her son more than anything. Maybe she was proud of him. Maybe she wasn't. Maybe she was a kinky lady herself. Oh, it's that one. Only a very dirty bird could have produced someone as glorious as I am. You don't know that. You can make up stories all you like, but you ain't ever gonna know. Oh, admit it. You know what Dr. Drain is. No matter how great a scientist he may be, Dr. Drain is a creature of pure shame. That is the essence of his being. Why, I believe you've inspired something in me. I can add a new sentiment to my feelings about your little doctor. Pity. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Such a shame. Now why must you deny the poor little worm? If he loves science as much as he pretends to, he knows that I am inevitable. He should give in to me. If he loves science, it ain't up to you to decide what Dr. Drain should or shouldn't do. All them shoulds were the thing that made him lock you up in the first place. They're what made him afraid and ashamed, because he was always thinking about what he should be or do. Of course, they were his own creation, but he cannot help it. He knows in his heart that he should. Lord Loridus, did I give you permission to speak, my little worm? I don't need permission. I just wanted to tell you something. Oh, he wants to tell me something. Well, go ahead, darling. Tell me something. I shall remember it when I'm shacking a football fanatic in a dumpster. I accept you. What do you mean you accept me? You cannot accept me. I am your nightmare made flesh. I am the reflection in the mirror you cannot see. Nevertheless, I accept you. I accept your bloodlust. I accept your violence.
You don't.
You accept my cock?
No.
Yes, I accept even that. I will not deny you any longer. But as you are me, I am you. I take responsibility for all your actions. I shall feed you and nourish you, and you shall live by the Hippocratic oath I have sworn. Dare you to try, you snivelling? No, I do not need to try. You and I are one. I know you. I accept you. And And I love you all the same. Curse you. Curse you both. You sicken me. You do not sicken me. I accept you. No.
He's owning him.
I accept you.
You tell him.
No!
Humility is healing.
Dr. Dream, are you all right?
Do you kick his ass?
Yes, sir. I am fine. You look fine. I feel fine. It is a very new feeling. I'm not sure I know what to do with it. I can't believe I'm saying this, but do you want to go down and dance in the club? Dance? Dance. Would I like to dance? Yes. Yes, I would like to dance. Let us dance. I was hoping you wouldn't say yes, but let's go, partner. Come on, Sal. Let us cut runs. I ain't much of a dancer. Neither am I. But dancing is what I feel like doing. Guess we're dancing, man.
Now, what the hell am I looking at? Bert, you be nice. I guess that explains why Sam doesn't dance.
Crimson Post here. Have you seen Samuel? I usually check in with him after a session, but he has disappeared.
Check it out, Sugar Blood.
What is he doing?
I think he's goth square dancing.
So he is. We should not laugh.
Now circle right and do-si-do.
But then again, that is a should statement.
Oh, you don't get to see what it looks like?
The master therapist once again enters his domain. Good evening, Samuel.
Oh, come on, Andy. I'm just the right cowpoke in the right place at the right time.
A cowpoke who has a habit of disqualifying the positive. It is ungracious to deny a compliment, my dear. You are an excellent therapist and an inspiring dancer.
All right. That's enough of that.
You are seeing Senora Deste tonight, yes? How do you feel about her progress?
I don't know. That lady can really hold some grudges. I think she's starting to think about herself a little more, though.
I wanted to see what the dance looked like. Boo! Did this thing not do graphics for us to see the dance?
An ancient grudge is a difficult thing to forget. It can become a part of one's very identity. Vlad Tepes only became Dracula because he was obsessed with the Turks, remember?
I guess so.
Yeah, I don't think the Senora's that far gone.
Do you feel you are prepared for whatever distortions she might bring today?
Well, let me think about that. All right, filled my chamber. I'm ready to go.
Ugh, I don't remember people being like this about crossbows.
Well, you can take the cowboy out of the West, but you can't take the West out of the cowboy.
So it would seem. Well, good luck tonight, Samuel. I will leave you to it.
All right, deep breath, Sammy boy. Here she comes. Buonanotte, Signora.
What?
It's Italian. I thought I'd learn how to say hello to you properly. But Buonanotte.
No, I cannot repeat it. I appreciate your attempt to speak in my language, but please do not attempt to do so again. Good evening. We'll do fine.
Good evening, Signora.
I apologize. I am feeling delicate tonight.
What's going on, Signora?
The realization that I am merely a repulsive, angry old woman becomes disappointingly clear. It weighs upon me in more than one way.
Whoa there, Signora. What's with the labeling? You think calling yourself names is going to make you feel better?
No, but perhaps it will help me accept reality, as you have been encouraging me to do.
I never said anything about calling yourself nasty names.
I am repulsive, I am angry, and I am old. They are not names, they are hard truths.
It's looking at yourself in unkind ways, that's what it is. This can't be coming from nowhere, Senora. What's the deal? Last time we were talking, you seemed to be feeling pretty good.
You want to know why I am disgusted with myself? Here, look.
It's a pretty good centaur. What are you talking about?
I know. It is terrible.
I like it.
I wouldn't say that at all, Senora. In fact, I think it's beautiful. I can tell you put a lot of love into this thing.
It is an entirely juvenile effort. There is nothing redeemable about this rubbish.
I think you're being a little harsh there, Senora. I ain't capable of drawing anything half that good. It's clear to me you got some sense of what you're doing. I think you're focusing on your weak spots when there's a lot of good here.
Per favore, look at his abdomen. What is that? It looks like an insect's thorax.
Well, you might have been a little indulgent with the abs, but there's nothing wrong with a little indulgence. I call it style.
And I call it trash.
Believe me, Senora, I know horses. You're a heck of an artist.
Then why do I feel nothing but shame when I look upon it? If I feel nothing but disgust, then it is disgusting.
Senora, that's letting your gut make up reality. You look at this piece of art and see trash because that's how you're feeling. How come I don't think it's trash?
Oh, dear Sam. I mean this in the kindest way I can, but you are an asino.
What?
I'm guessing that ain't a good thing.
It is a donkey.
Well, that don't seem too kind to me. My opinions don't count.
In this case, no, because I am never wrong about art.
I gotta challenge you on that, Senora. Saying you're always right about art, well, that can't be true. Art is always changing. I've seen some European art from before your time that was supposed to be perfect, and dang, that baby Jesus always looks about 50.
And they had no sense of perspective. Barbarians.
Don't judge your art based on how you alone feel. Feelings ain't reality. Someone else is always going to have another opinion.
You are indeed correct, but no one will see this insult to Chiron.
Chiron? Oh, you mean, Kronos' son.
Now, what the heck did you go and do that for, Senora?
I did what one should do with garbage. It is better that the world never see such horrors.
Aww.
Senora, if you think there's nothing good about this piece, I think you need a vampire optometrist more than a vampire therapist. Yeah, maybe it ain't your idea of perfect, but heck, what is? If you want to see real horror, ask me to draw anything other than my gun. I mean, what are you really looking for here, Senora? You looking to bring this fella to life with your brush? You think if you don't produce something completely perfect, it's garbage?
Yes, I apply the same standards to myself as I do to everyone else. Leonardo da Vinci once painted an illustration of my city of Mantua for me. It was beautiful. Leonardo had a mastery over art that modern mortals will never understand. But it was full of imperfections. The shape of one of the windows was wrong. The clouds looked slightly unnatural. I lit the painting on fire rather than let him embarrass himself. So why would I choose to embarrass myself?
You lit the Leonardo da Vinci on fire?
I lit rubbish on fire. Da Vinci painted it, but it was still rubbish.
How dare you? It's the art of a G.
Dang, that fella must have been terrified of you.
He was, though he had no reason to be. All he had to do was be better. It had nothing to do with me, us.
Senora, with all due respect, are you kidding me? That fella was afraid of you, not a failure. What would have happened if you had lit his painting on fire?
Then he would have been ashamed of a terrible piece of art.
Senora, this need for perfection you've got, it ain't doing good things for you.
How can you say this? By demanding perfection, I improve the work of others. I improve the work of myself.
Well, maybe that's true, but you're doing something less useful.
And what is that?
You're limiting your dating opportunities. Nobody's perfect, Senora.
I did not condemn myself to immortality so that I could sleep around. Urinating is my primary concern.
Oh, well, maybe not. But there's something else. Senora, your standards are way too high. There ain't no way anyone can reach them.
So you keep saying. But there is nothing wrong with setting a high standard. The problem is the low standards of others. It is shameful to not strive for greatness. I will not tolerate your setting low standards. You will not disgrace my presence with shallow thoughts. Am I understood?
Yes, ma'am. No, wait, I meant to say, Senora, I gotta be honest here. You're terrifying everyone. You're terrifying your artists, your family, even yourself. Failure's a part of life. If imperfection's a mortal sin to you, ain't nobody gonna let you in on their imperfections. Not you, not your husband, and not your son either.
How dare you? How dare you lecture me, peasant?
Whoa!
How dare you suggest that I was anything less than the perfect mother to my Federico? You worm! Ho sputato sulla tomba di tua madre! Ti maledico ai livelli più profondi dell'inferno!
Yikes!
Federico loved me. He knew that I knew what was best for him. Pull out your cognitive distortions now and I will tear your head from your neck.
I ain't never said Federico didn't love you. All I was saying was,
Vito, shut up, fool! You presume to tell me what I know. You, a common murderer. You who can barely speak your own language. I demanded perfection from my Federico so that he would not end up like his father, a degenerate leper whose feet is hung by a thread of putrescent skin. I do not tolerate imperfection, not from myself, not from this world, and not from my son! I do not...
you know what, Senora? If you want to have that kind of control, you're going to have it all by your lonesome. I'm trying to help you, and you're screaming at me. Why? Because you can't stand being wrong? If I'm too scared to talk to you, what the hell are we doing here? What do you want me to do, lie to you? I ain't going to do that, Isabella d'Este. If you're looking for perfection, you're only going to find liars, and that ain't me.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I know you are right. Oh, Federico, what have I done?
Hey, it's okay, Senora.
He barely spoke to me when he came back from the Vatican. Every time I asked him how he was, he would say, I am fine, mother. Of course he knew better than to talk to me. His father never did. No doubt it was I who drove them into the brothels. Better than...
I think that's simplifying things a little, Senora. Your boys made their own decisions. There probably were a lot of reasons they went to the brothels, but putting it all on yourself just ain't accurate. You couldn't read their minds or control their behaviors.
Perhaps not. But I am certain their whores did not criticize them as I did. I was only trying to make them demand better of themselves. Why did the world punish me for this? I read my Wikipedia page, you know. It was full of lies and slander. No doubt this is how history remembers me, with slander I have earned. I read my Wikipedia.
I don't think a single Wikipedia page is going to determine how humanity remembers you, Senora. You're one of the most interesting, intelligent people I've ever met, and I bet loads of historians out there would be eager to know the real you.
Let us hope they do not discover who I am. They would be terrified of me, as you so deftly pointed out.
So let's forgive them a few mistakes, huh?
I suppose I must.
I read that Wikipedia page too, Senora. You know how I read it. But people are in awe of you. They call you the First Lady of the Renaissance, you know.
This only proves that Machiavelli was right. That if one cannot be loved and feared, it is best to be feared.
I think you're a little too down on yourself today, Senora. But here's what I think of Isabella d'Este. You are so dang smart, Senora. I don't think people these days get an education like yours. You took it seriously. You know about art, music, philosophy, religion.
Of course. course. I know much about physics, biology, and mathematics as well. Do not think me simply a woman of the arts.
See what I mean? I'm only 200 some years old, and I think it's going to take me another 200 to know half the stuff you know. You should be proud, Senora. You're ambitious as hell. From what you told me, sounds like being a woman in your time wasn't an easy thing. But you proved you were capable of anything. People had to respect that. Hell, you even ran your own city. You're gutsier than any man I've ever known.
I am not sure I like this gutsy word very much, but I suppose I did well for my time.
Senora, you did well for any time, believe me. Pardon me for saying so, but I see why people were falling over themselves to paint you. You got grace and style such like I ain't never seen back home, not even at a fancy cotillion. Those ladies would probably kill to have your fashion sense.
Well, thank you for saying so, Sam. It is gratifying to know that my eye for fashion is noted. I certainly know how to wear a hat.
Well, that thing looks great on you. I doubt I could wear it half as well.
That is certainly true.
You know what? You come off as pretty harsh. I think we can agree on that. But you're a caring person. You want the best for the people you care about, no matter how hard it is on you. You literally gave your life to care for your family.
No one has ever called me a caring person before.
Am I wrong? Going through death for family seems like you care a lot.
A little too much, perhaps.
I ain't gonna disagree with you there.
You have been so kind to me. Kinder than I have been to you.
You deserve kindness. And you deserve to give yourself some kindness too.
Do you make her smile?
No one has ever spoken to me the way you do. Sam, I know I am old. I know I am difficult. But would you ever consider a woman such as I?
Senora, I'm here to help you on your personal journey. Let's not complicate that.
Of course. I am just being foolish. I am so used to people being afraid of me that, of course, I fall for the first person who is not.
Senora, I think if you can learn to give people a little room, they're going to adore you.
What if they see me as weak, if I am gentle? What if my bearing was the thing that earned me respect? I do not wish to be discarded and ignored like so many women of my time.
Senora, I don't think anyone could discard and ignore you. You don't exactly fade into the background, you know. You're pulling back a little and letting people make their mistakes doesn't make you weak. And it definitely ain't gonna make them discard you. I'm a pretty gentle fella. You don't think I'm weak, do you?
No, I do not.
So don't go thinking you are, alright? I'm not saying you gotta be meek, Senora. I reckon that ain't in your nature. I'm just saying to start with compassion. People are doing their best out there. They deserve your understanding when they ain't perfect. Same goes for you. Don't go ripping up your art because it ain't perfect. Nobody's expecting that from you or anyone, not even Da Vinci.
Yes, I suppose I must resign to the truth. I am powerless before inevitable imperfection. I suppose the Calvinists were right.
Now don't go running in the opposite direction, Senora. That ambition comes from you. Not everyone's got it. So, keep striving to be better. Just give yourself a little compassion when you don't meet those super high standards you got. And there ain't nothing wrong with holding other people to a high standard neither. We ain't gonna be gods, but it's good to have ideals.
I believe you are wiser than I, Sam Walls. It is most humbling.
A slow horse who can still get his carrots is quicker than the ones who run past him.
And then you say something like that, and I am no longer quite so humbled.
And don't be humbled by me, Senora. I'm a simple man. Just a more honest one these days. Look, let's remember what brought you in here in the first place. You saw that Space Wars movie and all its problems, right? Now, I want to give you a challenge. I want you to find a piece of art to like. anything. A painting, some music, a movie, heck, even a video game. And you enjoy that thing for what it is, not hate it for what it isn't.
Video games are not art.
Hey!
Do you know that, Senora? I bet there's lots of video games with redeeming value. One of my clients plays a whole bunch of them.
I do not think they are for me.
Well, fair enough. Just find something, and we can talk about it next time. You can use the internet. I hear it's full of lists of things people like.
Very well. I will do this then. Sam, thank you for being so kind to me.
Well, I'll thank you to join me in being kind to you, okay, Senora? I'll see you in a few weeks.
Yes. Well then. Goodbye, Sam.
Adios, Senora.
Well, a confession of love from the First Lady of the Renaissance.
Oh, shucks, she ain't in love with me.
I know, I am teasing, but I am impressed, Sam. Warmed her dead heart.
It was touch and go there for a bit. I thought she really was going to rip my head off.
But you were not afraid, as she said. They make strong men in the American West.
Tough living will do that to you, sure enough.
Then let us relax. I hear you were dancing the other night.
Oh, nuts.
Do not be embarrassed, Sandy, but let us go downstairs. The night is still young and there is much to celebrate.
All right, Andy. I think I'm game for a little R&R.
Sweet Sanguine, tonight we are celebrating. I am pouring us all some shots. Verona Virgin 1492. A taste of a different kind.
Really?
You know I don't like drinking anything but fresh, Andy.
I know, dearest. This is a rare occasion. Samuel here was able to help a 500-year-old let go of her anger. So let us toast her age. To the Renaissance.
Oh, that tastes like dirt.
Ew, I think mine had a clot in it.
It's not very good, is it? Now well, then let us instead toast leaving the past where it belongs.
I think I've had my fill of the past tonight already.
I've got a better idea.
Is that so? Of course, my dearest. I am delighted for you to share yourself.
I'd like a little privacy. Come on, cowboy. Follow me to the kink room.
Oh, well, all right then.
Smile, Samuel. You have the favor of a very special woman. It has been too long since I tended my own bar. Go have fun.
Okay, Andy, you have a good night.
Hey, cowboy.
Hi, Crimson.
Look, handsome. There's a reason I wanted to get you alone. Wanted to pick your brain about something.
Really?
I'm hearing about all these clients of yours being stuck for hundreds of years. I keep thinking, what if that's me? I've been half dead for 20 years. But do I want it to be 200?
Have you talked to Andy about this?
Yeah, but he's 3,000 years old. 20 years to him is like a month. I'm getting a little jealous of your vamps, if I'm honest. They're all moving forward, but I'm stuck in the same place. I've got Andy keeping me alive, but I'm not sure I'm living. The way I see it, either I decide my time's up, or I decide to become a vampire. So I wanted to ask, what's your favorite thing about living forever?
One of the best things about being a vampire is the freedom to go your own way. Short-term concerns stop mattering. You know all them things will pass. Even a life sentence in prison don't mean much when you live endless lifetimes. You can do what you want, because the consequences probably ain't gonna be worse than death. Crimson, in the end, this is your decision. You gotta decide for your own reasons.
I know. You're right, Sam. It's helpful to give youngsters perspective, though. Now, are we gonna get to fighting?
Oh, we're still doing that.
Of course we are. Get in here, cowboy.
That is something else.
Not bad, cowboy. But you don't need to bite. Just let your teeth sink in next time. If your partner is relaxed, they'll just slide right in.
Oh, well, thanks, Crimson. I'll try to remember that.
Bet you're pretty sleepy now, huh?
Well, yeah, now that you mention it.
Go get some sleep then, cowboy. And Sam, thank you. I'm glad you're around.
Where else would I be? I'm glad to be of service, man. You have a fine evening.
Samuel, good evening. How is my ever-impressive protege tonight?
I don't know, this might be in this one, it's not.
Looking forward to a night off, boss. I haven't heard from Eddie, so I was thinking about a nice hot bath.
An excellent idea. A little self-care goes a long way. I do have bubble bath if you would like to borrow some.
Andrew Macos the Mighty uses bubble bath, huh? I wouldn't have guessed.
There is only one type of human who does not like bubbles.
Liars?
Well, I was going to say werewolves, but I suppose it is the bath part they dislike, not the bubbles.
Oh, well, I ain't no liar, so I'd love some bubble bath. In fact, well, tarnation, I guess the bubble bath is postponed.
Are you ready to handle Edmund's distortions? It sounds as though they will be intense.
Well, let me think real quick.
That was weird.
I think I got it.
I suspect you have difficult work ahead tonight. I wish you the best of luck, son.
Thanks, Andy. Hold on, Sammy boy, here it comes. Oh. Hey, Eddie.
Why does he look like frickin' that horror clown thing?
Do you like my costume, Sam?
No, not really.
Well, sure. Did you come right from that production you were talking about last time?
Yes. I flew right here after the performance. I had to tell you how it went.
So, how did it go?
You should have been there. You could have seen how the audience reacted. They loved me.
Why are you so sad?
Hey, well, that's fantastic, Eddie. I was a little worried when I heard you coming. I wasn't expecting you tonight.
But why would you worry? You knew who I was. The great Edmund Keith. Of course the audience would love me. Oh, my dear boy. How they did laugh at the great clown Piero.
Well, that's amazing, Eddie. Gave that Grimaldi fellow a run for his money, huh?
Grimaldi would have never achieved as many laughs as I clearly earned.
You don't sound too happy about it, Eddie.
Piero is supposed to be a tragic clown, but they laughed. They just laughed and laughed and laughed.
Oh, Eddie.
They laughed at my heartbreak when my wife left me for a respectable man. They laughed when I held my dying child in my arms.
What?
They laughed as I succumbed to drink, damning God for not taking me.
What kind of clown is this?
They laughed as I slit my own throat. It was no trick, for I am already dead. So you see, it was all very, very funny.
Doesn't sound funny to me.
Eddie. I'm so sorry. That reaction sounds horrifying.
No, but of course it wasn't. I believe this role was made for me. It was made so that people could laugh at me. So laugh, my dear boy. Laugh. The part Edmund played is far older than he is. Do not think its writers could foresee his birth. No, but of course it wasn't. The part Edmund played. No, But of course it wasn't. The part Edmund played this for, no. But of course it wasn't.
Yeah, I know you're hurting right now. I know people can be cruel, but they ain't looking to be cruel to you in particular. That's one of them cognitive distortions. Personalization. It means, shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Don't tell me a fucking thing about cognitive distortions! Do you think I don't know what they are? Do you think I do not employ each and every one, every single moment of every single day? I am a professional liar, but no lie is so carefully constructed as that of Edmund Kean. You told me to deal with reality as it is. So be it. This is Edmund Kean, a minstrel, a jester, a fool, a clown. A clown whose greatest joke is to pretend for even a moment that he is not one. Eddie, you're a human. You're the most complicated being to walk the earth, and you got more years behind you than I do. Them labels ain't doing anything for you except locking you into an identity that ain't good for you.
They are more honest labels than Edmund, the great and respected actor. Edmund, the normal, respectable man.
Eddie, I don't want you using any labels. All they're doing is creating false expectations for yourself.
But you see, my dear boy, all that is impressive about Edmund Kean is just illusion. It has always been an illusion. That is what the stage is. But it is my... Go ahead and ask me, therapist. Ask me, who is Edmund Kean? Nay, do not ask. I will tell you. Edmund Kean is nothing. There is no Edmund Kean. I have never met the man, or even the boy. I have known Shylock, Richard III, Hamlet, Lear, Othello, Macbeth, Romeo, Cupid. The people loved all of those characters. Wherefore would they love Edmund? Edmund had to become a character as well. And I have played Edmund for so long that naught lies beneath. A hollow man sits before you. As the vampires have said, 'tis a man anyway, a miserable pile of secrets, a mountain of pretty lies.
Eddie, that ain't true, and I'll tell you why. You're saying life's miserable, but it ain't. There's a lot to enjoy about it if we care to look.
You lie as well as I do. Life is misery. It is a series of bitter trials, and the time in between trials is only long enough to give us hope. A fool's hope. The next misery is always around the corner, and the best we can hope to do is cover it up with more lies. That is what I have done. I am a most excellent liar.
But here's the thing, Eddie. People are pretty good deep down, Eddie. You ain't giving humanity a fair shake.
You clearly never met me backstage. They used to call my dressing room the room of lamentation because everyone who walked in walked out crying. Would you call that good therapist? I wouldn't.
Well, we ain't all good all the time, I suppose.
As I said, we are made of lies.
We all lie, Eddie. Deep down, we're all still scared animals who can't tell the difference between a booing audience and a lion ripping out our throats. For all the time my blood was pumping, I played a tough guy. Slaughtering Sam, they called me. I like that name. You want to know why?
Why?
Because it made me feel safe. Under that grizzled exterior, I was still just a scared little boy. But that little boy was me, Eddie.
You understand me? Though we have played different parts, the character underneath is the same, perhaps. Do you remember that I played Cupid as a boy?
That was your breakout role, right?
I learned that if I smiled and spoke sweetly, people would view me as something other than street trash. I wouldn't have to go hungry. I wouldn't have to be sold to some bloated factory owner. Edmund Kean was worthless to anyone. Another mouth to feed, another body to clothe. So I knew I had to make him disappear. I thought if I suppressed Edmund and became the character the public wanted, I would be rewarded. But this illusion, this character of Edmund Kean, has brought me to such unspeakable depths. Do you know why I sought to become a vampire? Why I dwelt in dark places until the curse of immortality was given to me? I became a vampire because I was afraid that my son Charles would be a more successful actor than I was. I could not let his legacy overtake mine. I had to be sure
You're
that
afraid of
I
your
was the
kid?
key that would be remembered.
Dang, Eddie. That's a lot.
Yes, I have been monstrous. I needed to be the most beloved. I needed my every demand fulfilled. I had my own pet lion. I rode my horse indoors. I flew into a rage if anyone denied me sexual gratification. As an immortal, my fears have made me even more terrible. How many promising young actors I have killed because I felt they threatened my legacy. So many lives cut short because I, and I alone, know what acting must be.
But you know that ain't true, don't you? You can't know everything about acting. Acting is all about the human experience, right? You said it yourself. You're one man with one set of experiences. You can't represent all of human experience on your own.
Of course I knew that. And that is why I had to kill them. They threatened Edmund Keane, and for that, they had to die. I could not face the idea that they would bring something to the stage that I could not. Indeed, the very reason I am wearing these clothes is because I could not bear the idea that Grimaldi brought something to the stage that I could not. Do you see how pathetic I am? I am battling a man who has been dead for almost 200 years. The audience was right. I am a most laughable creature. I know what they are thinking, what they have always thought. Look at the fool actor. Look how he debases himself by begging for our approval.
Eddie, you don't know what they're thinking. At all. We've been going over this for months now. All you know is what you know. You're concerning yourself with the thoughts of everyone else that you can't even know. It ain't no wonder that you got no sense of self.
Yes, you're right. I see that now. This monster that is Edmund Keane was created for the audience, but I do not know them. I believe 'twas not my talents that earned the adoration of the public. Perhaps they only ever loved me because I demanded they do so.
The important thing here is accept things as they are, compadre.
I cannot accept things as they are, my dear boy. How can I? How can I accept that I have forced everyone around me to confirm my lie of an existence? How can I accept the people I defiled to satisfy my ego? The son I was relieved to see die? The blood I have spilled to sustain my legacy? The lie is all I have, and all I know. I have done such evil to protect it. So much is my poverty of spirit, so mighty, and yet with so many defects, in the vapor of my own glory smothered. No, my dear boy, what is done cannot be now amended. Child Edmund is buried, and this grim-visaged, wretched creature is all that remains.
Eddie, I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. You've done some truly awful stuff. Fear doesn't excuse the dastardly deeds you've done. The shit you done ain't never going away.
Yes, go on and kick me, jeer, laugh at the vicious clown, tell him what a fool he is.
You ain't gonna play pity tricks on me or yourself. You acted like a lily-livered sumbitch, Eddie. I know that, because I've done some awful shit too. Because of my fear, I hurt scores of folks. Some strangers, some near and dear. And because of my fear, I pushed all that stuff down deep where no one could see it, just like you. I was too afraid to face myself. Once I didn't have a choice but to take a good look at myself, my first thought was that I deserved to go meet the sunrise, because I'm a coward too. But there's something else we've got in common in addition to acting like yellow bellies, Eddie. You know what it is?
What is it?
We got time, Eddie. We got time to become new people. We got time to look at ourselves honestly and say, yeah, I've been a coward, but I ain't gonna be a coward any longer. So what'll it be, Eddie? You're gonna live forever. Will you do it as a coward or as a man?
I don't know how to be a man.
So you're giving up then?
No, I cannot maintain the facade any longer. I am revealed to myself. Oh, Sam, I never learned to be a person. I stopped being real at 8 years old. What? Why did my fellow actors call me so? Why did they let me become a monster? They could have said no, but they did not.
Eddie, you gotta own your choices. Yeah, maybe they could have given you more discipline, but they didn't make you do them things you did. It's time to own up. If you're really gonna stop lying to yourself, it starts right here. What's assigning blame to a bunch of dead folks gonna do for you anyway?
But it was at least in part their fault. Who lets a child make the demands I made?
We ain't focusing on the people who gave in to a kid who was too big for his britches. We're focusing on you. You did some real awful things. You killed people for criticizing you or for showing talent. You resented your son's success. These are things you gotta take in.
But how can I put such things behind me?
You don't. You gotta accept the things you've done as part of who you are. You ain't gonna erase the last 200 some years, but maybe you can use them to make a better Edmund going forward.
How? How do I introduce myself as a demanding megalomaniac? How do I introduce myself as a man who was relieved to see his own son die? How do I introduce myself as a man who demanded the entire world get on their knees to satisfy his ego?
Well, I wouldn't exactly lead with that stuff. How about you introduce yourself as a man who's figuring himself out?
I suppose that is a possibility. At the least it is not unexpected for me to be so disarrayed. It is known that we actors are all by nature an insecure people. At the least it is not unexpected.
No, Eddie, you're overgeneralizing. Painting all actors with a broad brush so it makes you look better. You're blaming your profession, and that's a damn cop-out. Yeah, there are some real fatty arbuckles out there, actors who carve a path of destruction. But there are plenty of stage folk out there who lead humble lives, loving their craft without hurting other people. So I'll thank you not to hide behind bad actors.
Bad actors. Now that is funny. Perhaps I need to find an identity beyond the stage. It protected me in my youth, but I do not think that it serves me any longer.
That might be worth exploring, Eddie.
But what if I am nothing without the stage? What if I seek other endeavors, but there are none for me? The theatre is all I know. It has been my protector all this time. Without it, I am helpless as a swaddling babe.
However helpless you might feel, Eddie, remember that's just how you feel right now. But that's the amazing thing about being undead. We got lots of time to make a better tomorrow. My mentor, Andy, he says that at 200 years old, we're basically toddlers by vampire standards. And we both got a lot of growing up to do.
That is a heartening thought.
If we're doing life right, Eddie, we're always growing up. The trick is not to think we're done growing.
Spoken like the bard himself. As he said, all the world's a stage, and I am barely past mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. I should be of a more mature mind, shouldn't I? Surely 237 years is old enough to be out of nappies.
We got time to grow, Eddie. Let's just be glad you're a 200-year-old baby and not a 2,000-year-old baby, huh? We'd be having a real different conversation then.
But growth to me seems nigh impossible. I have allowed my fear to guide my every sad-gutted action. My fear told me when I was threatened, which was always.
This is what I mean, Eddie. You're always in defensive mode, ready for someone to take you down. That ain't no way to live. When you're afraid of some young actor coming up and making a name for themselves, what's so scary about that anyway?
I'm afraid they will erase me. I will be just another child of the rookeries, used and discarded, of no value to anyone. No history, no legacy, no record of my existence. Perhaps my time is past anyway. There was a time when the stage awaited Edmund Keene, but my death was the end of that time.
Okay, we got some real work to do still. Here's the thing, Eddie. The stage wasn't waiting for you. Fear wasn't waiting for Edmund Keene to show up, and it wasn't waiting for you to die. You're used to making things about you, but the glorious, wonderful truth is, they ain't. And I got some real good news for you, hombre. You're dead, but the pressure's off. All them fears are keeping you locked in time. You can stay there as long as you like, or you can make some progress. What's it gonna be?
I am too much of a coward to die, so I suppose I must live.
I'm glad to hear that.
I believe I should go away somewhere cold and dark, where I might be alone with my thoughts.
I think that's a great idea. I did the same thing, and it changed my life. Oh, well, my own life.
I suppose all's well that ends well. I only hope it does.
I got faith in you. As long as we're putting one foot in front of the other, that's progress.
I shall see you in a month then.
You got it, Eddie. Take care of yourself. We'll get you out of that mewling and puking stage before you know it, okay?
So it shall be. Very well. Exit Edmund Keene. Stage left. Bravo, Samuel. I was taking notes. It seems the student has become the master.
Ah,
Only a master of fumbling around. I knew I was taking a risk there.
You were, but perhaps such risks are justified with such an extreme personality. He attempted to gaslight you, but you held fast and challenged him, sternly but fairly. You have a gentle nature. That must have been difficult.
I didn't want to drive him off the edge. I just saw him close to making a breakthrough, and I didn't want him to start sinking again.
Well, you can now count yourself among a very small number of therapists who have made a breakthrough with such a one. I do not count myself among them.
And you let me handle Edmund?
I had faith in you, Samuel. You affirmed it magnificently. Now, please, go downstairs and find a friendly neck. You deserve it.
That drink sounds mighty nice right about now. You have a good night, Andy.
Rest in peace, my dear friend.
you gave new pictures, but I'm not sure which of those ones to use for my thumbnail.
Hey, I'm a little shaken up after that one. Never seen a man as afraid as Edmund Keene. That was tough to watch. I'm sure Crimson can lift my mood. Howdy, Crimson.
What's the matter, cowboy? You look a little paler than usual.
Oh, just had a real tough session. Watched a man who'd been wearing a mask for 200 years finally take it off. And it had to happen, though. The fella's got a long road ahead of him, but at least he's taking his first steps.
Hey, this'll do the trick then. I call this a bloody cowboy martini. Shake it, now stir.
What are you? What is this, James
I'm
Bond?
proud of you, Sam. Starting over is hard, especially when you've been spinning your wheels for a long time.
Well, that's the nice thing about being a vampire. We got time to start over.
Cheers to that.
To rebirth.
It seems you walk ever in the path of the Lord, my son.
Oh, hey, Kieran.
I did not mean to intrude. I noted your discomfort and wished to offer you succor in the kink room.
You mind, Crimson?
Not at all. Go drink your fill, cowboy.
Come, my son. Now then, I heard you speak of rebirth.
Yeah, it's something we vampires have to do a lot of. I was just worried about one of my clients having trouble with their rebirth.
I know it is painful, my son. When we are born again, we leave a part of ourselves behind. Like the lizard who sloughs its dead skin, or the mortal who journeys into the mosh pit, we emerge purer than before.
Sounds like you've got a lot of perspective on this stuff, Kieran.
I know you must have questions, my son. Please, ask.
Ain't being reborn just rejecting who we were. I wasn't a good guy, Kieran, but I don't want to erase my dark days.
My son, only in Christ do we truly receive absolution and become beings of pure light. Our darkness defines us. We cannot reject it, just as we cannot reject the Almighty. It is part of us. But do not be shamed by it, my son. Your darkness is beautiful and unique, as is your journey through the darkness.
Kinda sounds like disqualifying the positive to me.
Actually, it's liner notes from a metal album I'm fond of. Did you have more questions to ask?
From your spiritual perspective, how do we know when it's time for a rebirth?
An hour, a week, a year, a millennium. The answer, my son, is when we are ready. Only the Lord decides when that is. The Lord giveth, and the Lord taketh away, and all is according to his will.
Well, that sounds like a control fallacy, though. We can't let someone else make our decisions for us.
My son, all your trials, the world you live in, they are all his work. He leads you to the truth. When he has prepared you fully, you will accept it, and join him along with the dearly departed gods of metal. Did you have more questions for me, my son?
From your spiritual perspective, can we ever truly start over?
My son, you know the answer already. We beings of flesh and blood are also beings of judgment. However, we do not stand in judgment of mortals, but of ourselves. If you believe you have defeated your demons, then you have.
Yeah, that's true. Reminds me a lot of should statements. And defeating demons is pretty badass, ain't it?
Yes, it is the demons who should fear us, my son. Did you have more questions?
Why ain't your lord the fire and brimstone type that's marked my kind for centuries?
The Lord did not do these things. That is the work of man. Even they work through him and face their own dark journeys. But eventually, we will all be blessed and return to his bosom to rock for all eternity. It is not for man to judge.
Oh, I've got a lady who would love to meet you. I think a few men of the cloth did her dirty.
Men will ever seek power. But I know some simply seek blood. Are you ready to receive succor, my son?
Yeah, but I really wish you'd stop calling it that. That is enlightening.
There. May you be sustained and fulfilled. May you shepherd your lost sheep, as I shepherd the children of the night.
You're a one-of-a-kind dude, Kieran. But thanks for the drink and the talk. You have a fine night.
Godspeed, my son.
Good evening, Samuel. You are seeing your ancient client tonight, are you not?
Okay, we're gonna end it here, like I described, and bye-bye.